Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of Chamber Chat. As we keep saying, we're going to keep it rolling, and we're really enjoying getting to check in with our members and check in with the community during these uncertain times. But we're trying to continue to spread positive resources, positive messaging, and positive stories. And today we're joined by Monica with Better Building Works. Monica, great to see you. I know I haven't met you in person yet since I started, so we'll get to that. We'll get to meet in person soon enough. But how are you? How's your family? How's your friends? Is everybody healthy and safe? And how's everything with Better Building Works?
Hey, Eric. Everything is great with Better Building Works. Thank goodness we're all safe. And you know, a lot of the people that we work with, we get concerned about them as well. Of course, the construction industry is an essential business right now. So keeping everyone safe, whether they're in the field or in the office or at home, is super important to us. And luckily, something that we can really help with here at Better Building Works with our building science perspective.
Yeah, sure. And great segue is, you guys are such a unique company with, just services that are so crucial and so beneficial that we really wanted to kind of let you discuss who you are and why you do it. One of the things, I have your website up just to my right, your left, on commercial services, residential, energy audits, and forensics. Talk a little bit about that and just your experience with the accreditations and the certifications you have on why this is important.
Sure. So my background is actually in architecture, and I was director of design and sustainability at a local architecture and engineering firm, Balzer and Associates, for many years. And while I was there, I was always asking myself, are the buildings that I am designing working the way I think they're working, or the way that I want them to work? And how will I find out? Well, that kind of quickly turned into a branch into building science. And building science is really the only way we can really determine whether a building is functioning the way we think it can, the way we want it to, and of course, fix things and figure out what might be going wrong when it's not. And so the whole idea of building science that really appeals to me is how it bridges between the silos. So whether it's, oh, I've got a leak in my crawl space or something, and so one subcontractor comes out, then another contractor comes out, and everyone kind of has an opinion, but how do you know which one's right? And how do you know what the connections are between them? And so our tagline is everything is connected, and it's because everything really is connected. And so some of the accreditations that we hold, I think, really the central linchpin of them, because it's so building science oriented, is Building Performance Association's accreditation for building performance analyst or healthy home investigator. That really kind of talks about existing buildings more than new. When we're talking about new buildings, we have building code to guide us. Now, how do we know whether a building is actually, meeting code or the intent of the code beyond an inspector? Building science definitely comes in there. But when you have an existing home, it could be, or a commercial building, it could be, any combination of things. And certainly different things have happened to that building over its lifespan. So, maybe there was a renovation, or maybe systems were changed out. The underlying assumptions cannot necessarily be discovered unless you really start to use some analytics and some diagnostics. And the cool thing about the building science approach as well is it allows us to quantify things. So when we have real data, we can quantify things. So for example, a blower door. What we're really doing there is we're able to quantify in BTUs, meaning in dollars, how much energy that building might be losing as a result of, say, infiltration. Or we can quantify extensive moisture damage, or just all sorts of different things. And when combined with technologies like infrared technology, that can be super powerful to really pinpoint where problems exist, where, say, in a new building, maybe you're not really achieving that air changes per hour that you are intending, and finding the least costly way to fix that really quickly and keep things moving for the contractor.
Yeah, that's such a unique insight and stuff that folks may not even really think about when it comes to being more efficient. And on your website, you have the exact term, and I think this ties in great, is we make the building work for you. Right. And that's such a, it says breathe easy, knowing that you're the trusted resource. You're the experts when it comes to helping a client out in the best ways that they can. So now we have kind of a chamber chat first. Is you have some examples of some things that you'd like to share, and you're about to screen share here. So
Yeah.
chamber chat first. We're screen sharing. So Monica, take it away on screen share and showing everybody some examples.
Okay, great. So first of all, I'd like to just say, I like to read a lot, as you can imagine, just from our company. I mean, we're very kind of curious people. And so I'd just like to give a shout out to the authors of this book, Joseph Allen and John McComber, who wrote this brand new book, Healthy Buildings. And in my opinion, every single building owner should own this book, because it not only gives you the why should I care about healthy buildings? Oh yeah, we all care about healthy buildings, right? But are we going to write a check to make our building more healthy? Maybe not, right? So this makes the business case, which I think is really important. And the business case basically boils down to this: your people are your most expensive part of your business. You want them to be happy. You want them to stay. You want them to be performing at their best possible level. But without a building that is making that possible, or with a building that is harming that, you're just not going to get it. And so this is just a great book, and I'd like to screen share a document that actually right after this book was published, the pandemic happened. And so Joe Allen and the School of Healthy Buildings at Harvard put together this little piece. And so everyone's starting to think we want to get back to work, right? Now, some of us are going to be staying home. And even if we're staying at home, we should really be thinking about all 5 of these particular methodologies or ways to make the building more healthy. And so you see hazard elimination. I mean, definitely we're all doing that. That's all about this social distancing and staying at home. Personnel. So who are the core staff that really needs to be at your building? Because that's really related to this 4th one over here where it says de-densify and maybe have A/B schedules. So if you have fewer people in the building at a time, of course, you are really improving the odds that, something bad's, not going to happen. And where we come in is really here in this engineering controls side. Now, certainly we can advise on certain cultural or administrative controls and things like that. But, the building might have basically just built into itself things that maybe make it healthy, things that may make it less healthy, and then we can figure out how to fix that. Now, if there's one takeaway that I would like to have for any viewers of this video, it is this: open your windows. Hopefully you've already got operable windows, and it is really one of the single best ways to make the air inside healthier. So Harvard did an amazing study in 2018 about, what is this air changes per hour and what are these indoor pollutants? So they basically isolated 2. One was carbon dioxide. So of course we are all carbon dioxide generators. We breathe, right? We breathe in oxygen, out carbon dioxide. When we're in a conference room with a bunch of people and we suddenly start getting really bored, is that really because the subject matter is so uninteresting? Or is it because the carbon dioxide levels in that room have gotten very, very high? And in fact, this study showed that as we can reduce carbon dioxide levels, our brains work a lot better, not just a little better, a lot better. And this is on things like creative kinds of enterprises, strategy, data processing, all of these things that we expect from our people that are working with us, and yet we're kind of, tying one hand behind their back, as it were, with the air inside of the building. So opening a window is a way to very, very quickly flush out any of those pollutants that might be in the air. Of course, there's more than just carbon dioxide, but we can think of carbon dioxide quite often as a kind of proxy for a lot of the other ones. If carbon dioxide levels are high, it means that we do not have enough air changes per hour in that building. In fact, in Europe, their equivalent of our ASHRAE standards, which is, a long acronym I won't explain, but is basically what the engineers have to do. They are advising right now, as a result of the pandemic, to have all buildings have 100% outdoor air in their air conditioning systems. Which, whether you understand it or not, I spoke with a local engineer about that, and of course he chuckled because that gets really expensive and it can really, increase your energy costs. And so, kind of finding that happy medium between energy and indoor air quality, and if opening a window is the easiest, quickest, and least expensive thing to do, that's something we can all do right now.
Wow, just a great perspective. I'm sitting here kind of glued into the information, and just kind of thinking of ways that folks, as they're starting to get back into buildings and get staff back, these controls and these suggestions are just good things to think about, not just for the short term, but for the long term. So, Monica, what a great resource and just information to continue to share with folks as they continue to kind of reopen, and as we all kind of continue to reopen in these different phases. If you want to finish your screen share, we'll wrap up here, and we'll make sure we get folks directed to make sure we get folks directed to your website to help kind of connect with you. So, Monica, thanks so much for joining us. I mean, what an informative chamber chat as we're continuing to try to provide resources and good stories. So betterbuildingworks.com is the best way to reach out to Monica, and Monica at betterbuildingworks.com. And you can also find their information through the chamber website on the chamber directory at roanokechamber.org. Monica, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Wow, just thank you for all that you're doing to be forward thinking to help residential and commercial properties and folks here in the area. That wraps it up for another edition of Chamber Chat. We're keeping it rolling.
Thanks,
Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.